You've tried all the diets, the workouts, the meal plans, and you're doing all this work to get your best body ever. Maybe you've even invested in a nutritionist or a personal trainer. But let's be honest, something still feels off, doesn't it? What if I told you the missing piece isn't in the gym or the kitchen, but it's right here in your mind? That's the missing piece. And this is what I'm going to be teaching you about in this video is how your mindset is the missing piece to really helping you get your best body ever. And it is going to be the most important piece that you work on, which unfortunately I feel like not enough people talk about, right? Like we're living in this day and age where we're constantly bombarded by messages about telling us to eat this, eat that, telling us to lift this, telling us to run there and do all of these things, telling us to track our macros and eat this food and not that food. And the thing is that it's all about the physical. That's the big issue here. Getting our best body, yeah, it ends up being all about the physical. And obviously that's important, right? Like, of course, it's a huge part. You can't just eat McDonald's every day and lose weight. But it's really only one part of the equation, right? I have worked with so many people who like they're doing everything right, but they're not seeing the results that they want to. And they're feeling so exhausted, they're frustrated, and they're starting to feel like that they're in this never ending cycle. Or I've also seen people who are just like, I've lost like 30, 40 pounds, but then I just gain it right back. Or it just feels really, really hard and difficult to do. Like, do you feel like you're in that spot where one, you feel like you're trying everything, it's not working, or two, you just feel like you end up being in this loop where, you end up gaining and losing the same weight again? Like, it is such a frustrating loop to be in. I know I definitely relate to this. So I competed in the Miss World Canada pageant in 2018. Okay. I know it sounds so random. I don't really talk about it enough, and I feel like I should talk about it more because it was a really interesting experience. So, when I competed in the Miss World Canada pageant, I wanted to go hard in this training. One of my friends, she's a personal trainer, so I had her develop me a personal training plan. She had also done fitness competitions, so I asked her advice in terms of my meal plans and tracking my calories and all that. And for a good 6 months, I went hardcore, okay, hardcore. I was tracking all my calories, I was doing my workout plans, and no matter what happened, I would not miss the mark on these things. And so I got into really, really fit shape. And so already I would say I'm pretty fit. And so it was really just about the last like 10 pounds that I had to lose in order to become, like the model shape for the pageant. And so I went from being about 123 pounds to being about 113 pounds. And when I lost the weight, like it was a noticeable difference. Like friends who hadn't seen me in a couple months were like, Baseline, are you okay? Like you are way skinnier than like ever before. And I was like, yeah, I'm just, training for the pageant. I want to do it right if I'm going to be investing all this time, energy, and money into it. And so I lost all this weight. Like you could literally see my abs, it was chiseled, and I was just like really, really fit. And so what ended up happening though is that once the pageant was done, and honestly, while I was there at the pageant, I was just like, this is so not my vibe. I was like, these are not my people, not my vibe. Literally halfway through, I kind of just gave up on it because I was like, I don't even want to win this stuff. But anyways, after the pageant was done, within the span of like 3-4 months, I completely gained all the weight back, and I gained more weight back. So instead of being like 123, I was closer to like 130. And I was like, whoa, what the heck just happened to me? And then I spent time losing that weight. And I felt like most of my life, I struggled to just lose and gain those same freaking, 10 pounds over and over and over again, which is just so frustrating. Because, if you're already a little bit tinier, just gaining a couple pounds makes a really, really big difference. But even if you're not at that place, if you're at the place where you gain and lose those 40, 50 pounds again, like that's big, right? It makes a big difference in terms of how you feel. And when I look back at that journey, I didn't do anything about my mindset. I didn't change my relationship with myself. And when I lost all that weight, I still hated myself. I had always been so overly critical of my body, of my skin tone, of my hair, of just everything that I have. And because I was just constantly critical of myself, even though my physical body changed, my mental state stayed the same. And even though I was at that 113-pound weight, I would still look at myself in the mirror and be like, I hate this, I hate that, I still feel like I'm fat and I could lose more weight. And I still had that same mindset. And because my mindset never changed, I didn't actually ever maintain that weight again. Right? And really what the truth is that, and what I have essentially found over the years, is that your mindset is the foundation of everything that you do. It's the engine that drives your habits, your choices, and ultimately your results. And that's what I want you to really take away from today's video, is that your mindset shapes your belief. Right? All your beliefs and what you think is possible, what you think you deserve, and how you respond to challenges. And without the right mindset, the best diet or workout plan won't get you to where you want to be. And it might get you, but short term, and you'll find yourself back in that same spot. And that is exactly what I want to prevent for like you to happen, to end up in that same spot again, because I know being in that cycle, and God bless, I'm out of that cycle now because I've learned how to manage my mindset, so I'm no longer losing and gaining that same weight over and over again. And that's because I've radically changed the relationship that I have with myself. So I actually wanted to share one of my client stories. I can't share names because of just confidentiality reasons. So one of my clients, she had been struggling with her weight for years, right? She had tried a lot of popular diets and workout plans, right? Like she was like keto, did intermittent fasting, would do HIIT training, had a personal trainer for a little bit. And despite her, she felt like she committed, but she just couldn't achieve lasting results, right? She would do something short term, and then all of a sudden she would just gain the weight right back as soon as she would stop doing it. And she just felt like she was in this constant cycle of weight loss, where she would lose weight, feel great, and then all of a sudden she would kind of be essentially back in that same spot again where she would gain that weight. And so initially, with her mindset in the beginning, all she focused on was the physical aspects, right? She was focusing on diet and exercise. And what was happening underneath, though, right? She was doing the diet and exercise, and she had that, and she thought that's all she had to do. Internally, though, she had a lot of frustration. Internally, she was constantly disappointed in herself and constantly felt like a failure. And internally, she experienced a lot of self-doubt. And her belief was that all of this is hard, that she can't do it, it's only going to work for a little bit. And these were the underlying beliefs. Now, if you have this underlying disappointment, this underlying feeling you're a failure, not good enough, this underlying feeling of being frustrated by yourself, of feeling like every time you work on your body, it's a struggle, it's hard, guess who's going to gain all that weight back? And that is exactly what was happening with her. And, when I worked with her, we really looked at like her mindset and how her relationship with herself was the thing that was ultimately causing her to like gain all that weight back and essentially be in this spot. And so when I worked with her, some of the things we did was, I talked to her about changing the relationship with herself, changing her self-talk. We added in affirmations, boosting self-esteem type activities. I taught her how to practice visualizations and feeling the success and emotions of actually achieving her goals. She did some work on journaling and really changing up the thought patterns and again of how she saw herself. And every time she felt like she wasn't progressing, we started to reframe that and started to see these as opportunities for growth and progress and to get better. And what was so amazing is that as her mindset improved, her results got better, right? And she started to become consistent with her healthy habits because she was focused more on the long-term vision. She experienced a boost in confidence and had a more positive outlook of her journey. And what was so amazing is that, not only she didn't lose the weight, but she actually kept it off, and she has kept it off. And whenever I reconnect with her, we just always talk about, where she was and where she is now. And the biggest and most amazing thing that really came out of this is just her relationship with herself, the way that she saw herself, the way that she treated herself, the way that she behaved with herself, just like completely transformed and changed. So it's amazing when we change the relationship with ourself, with who we see ourselves to be. It's amazing that when we do that, how big of a difference and impact it really has on us. So when it comes to the key mindset shifts to really think about, to do, and work on, are things like, number one, right? Shifting from perfection to progress. A lot of people I work with are like, if I miss out on a healthy meal once, it's just like, boom, chuck it out the window. I'm done. I'm over this diet, this workout plan. And, people just really fall off the tracks, and then they stay off the tracks for a long time. And the goal here is that it's not about being perfect. you also have to live your life. And if you feel like you can't do something for 30 years, then you need to pick a new healthy habit to work on. Progress comes from consistent effort, not from perfection. And when we let go of being perfect, it really allows us to show up in life in a more powerful way. The other big concept in mindset shift is shifting from self criticism to self compassion. Too many of us are so mean to ourselves and our bodies, and it's just not cool, honestly. We're so mean to ourselves. Think about something in your house that you hate, right? Could be like a plant, could be this like weird decorative item that someone got you for Christmas as a gift, and you're like, what the heck is this? How well do you take care of that thing? You probably don't. You take that thing and you throw it away in like a drawer and you forget about it, or you maybe throw it out in the garbage, or you put it in your garage and you set it and you forget it and you never take care of it. Same thing goes for your body. If you hate yourself, if you're critical to yourself, how well are you really going to take care of yourself? The intention behind you eating the healthy foods, doing the exercises and workouts is an icky, gross intention and energy. And you're never going to consistently have the best body of your life if you continue to be mean to yourself. And the other big thing is focusing on from short-term goals and really thinking about the long-term vision instead. Because when you think about the long-term vision, you stop obsessing over the little day-to-day things, and you look at the long-term vision of how you can stay committed even when times get tough, right? Because when we only focus on short-term goals, we forget about the challenges that sometimes life brings up and how we can still show up for ourselves despite these challenges. And so these are some of the key mindset shifts that really allow us to take care of our body in a powerful way long-term. And when it actually comes down to how do you use your mindset to really shift your physical state and to get your best body ever, what this really comes down to is changing self-concept work. And I am so excited about this because I am launching a course called Maximize Your Body, which is all about the mindset behind getting your best body ever. And I'm so pumped for this because, again, I feel like no one talks about this, and no one talks about how do you actually change the relationship with yourself so that you can get your best body ever, so you can be consistent, motivated, and take care of yourself long term, because that's what this is about. This is about loving the heck out of ourselves and wanting the best for ourselves. So one of the big things that I talk about in this program is changing your self-concept. And so when I talk about self-concept, it's self-concept essentially refers to the beliefs and perceptions that you have about yourself and how you see yourself in various aspects of life, including health and fitness. And because you see yourself in a certain way, you keep pulling yourself down to that self-concept. This is why you'll lose the weight, gain the weight, or you just won't even lose the weight in the first place, and it feels really hard and difficult to do it. And this self-concept and how you see yourself directly influences your behavior, your decisions, and overall mindset. And essentially, right, if you see yourself as someone who struggles with weight, as someone who lacks discipline, your actions are going to align with that identity. This is how powerful this stuff is. And so how self-concept affects fitness goals is because your actions will match your self-concept, right? So if you see yourself as someone who always fails at dieting, you're going to be more likely to self-sabotage, or you're going to be someone who more likely gives up when things feel like they get really, really tough. So your behavior directly aligns with how you see yourself. It affects your limiting beliefs too, right? And these limiting beliefs, essentially these beliefs that you have about health, fitness, yourself, that is what essentially forms your reality. So negative self-concept reinforces limiting beliefs. So for example, things like telling yourself, I am not capable of sticking to a workout routine, or I'm just not a fit person. These beliefs can create mental blocks that actually prevent progress. And then lastly, it can resist you to actually change. Because if we have this certain belief about ourselves and who we think we are, then you're always going to fulfill that belief about yourself. And this can actually resist you from changing and prevent you from changing the way that you need to. So fixed self-concept can make you resistant to new habits or approaches, and it can actually keep you stuck in this cycle of ineffective behaviors. So this course that I'm bringing out, like, I'm so excited because I'm going to teach you forever how to actually freaking change your self-concept so that you see yourself as this beautiful or handsome or just amazing human being who is healthy, who is strong, who has a body that is flourishing, who has a body that is fit and shining and glowing from the inside out. Because once you start to change your self-concept and you completely just change the way that you see yourself, it completely changes the way that you show up in the world. This is like the course, like, please, I know this is the time of the year when a lot of people start investing in like losing weight and all that stuff because, you know, you want to have a fit body for Christmas when you see your family and whatnot. But this is seriously the course that you want to take before you start any diet, fitness regimen, whatever. Because honestly, all those things will be a waste of money if you don't learn how to change the relationship that you have with yourself. Once you change the relationship that you have with yourself, it makes the diet, the fitness routines, all of that stuff work a billion times better. Okay? And when we even look at, you know, the science behind just like positive mindset and habits and all that stuff, even, you know, the science shows us that positive mindset and our self-talk and all that stuff can reduce stress, improve recovery, and it also increases our adherence and our ability to stick to healthy habits, right? When you believe in your ability to change, your body follows suit. Like, this is just how powerful this stuff is, and this is why I just love working on this stuff and talking about it. Like, I am so pumped for this course. It's gonna be so good, because I know what it's like to be in a place, honestly, where you hate yourself so much, where you hate yourself so much. You hate your body, you hate your hair, you hate your skin, and you just hate everything. And I spent so many years of my life hating myself. I used to hate the brown color of my skin. I used to hate like my hair. I used to hate just everything about myself. I used to hate like my eyes, my eyebrows, just like everything about me. I used to just hate it so much. And the more time I spent hating myself, the more that it represented in my body. And when I started to switch up my self concept and I started to change the way that I saw myself, it changed everything in my body. You know, I feel like my hair has never been shinier and healthier. Every time I literally go to my hairdresser, she tells me, she's like, Vaseline, how's your hair grown so much? And I was just like, it's a little thing called self-love and changing my self-concept, because I see myself as a woman who has thick, strong, shiny black hair. Even with my skin, I'm like, I'm a woman who has beautiful caramel covered glowing brown skin that shines from miles away. And when I started to just change the way that I see myself, it just changed everything about me and my body. And that's why I'm so excited for this, because I want you to see yourself as this amazing, incredible, beautiful human, because you deserve that. And so this course is gonna be awesome. So stay tuned for it. It's probably going to be launched and released mid-September, so you will definitely hear about it, because I'm going to be posting more videos about this stuff. So essentially, if you feel like you've been struggling to get the results you want, it's really time to look inward. Your mindset is probably the missing key to helping you unlock your best body. Okay, so if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I love chatting about this stuff. And you know, if you're ready to really maximize your potential and you want to learn more about this, like, watch some of my other videos, okay? Remember that the true transformation really starts in the mind. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.